Hey there, friends. I know you work hard, you tick the boxes, you meet deadlines, but somewhere deep inside, you still feel unfulfilled. You ask yourself, what is the point of all this? You try to stay motivated, but the meaning feels missing. And when things go wrong, the stress hits like a storm. Some days you wonder, should I just quit everything and do something more spiritual? What if there was a way to turn your daily work into a spiritual path? Where every task, yes, even your job, your studies, your responsibilities become a form of inner peace. Krishna knew you would feel this way. And in chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, he offers a breathtaking answer. Krishna looks at Arjun, who is confused, broken, and unsure. And Krishna doesn't say quit. He says, a person who acts with devotion, whose doubts are destroyed by knowledge, and who renounces attachment to results, reaches peace. This chapter is called Janana Karma Sannyas Yoga, the yoga of knowledge and renunciation. But this isn't about running away. It's about going deeper into your duties with understanding, with devotion, and with purpose. Krishna explains that when you know the why behind your work, when you see your actions as service, your work no longer becomes a burden. It becomes a path to freedom. Krishna even says, Brahman is the act of offering. The offering itself, the one who offers, and the sacred fire. Meaning, everything you do can become sacred if done in the right spirit. Hey modern AI Mystic family, have you ever felt like a burning question or a heartfelt prayer you wished Krishna could hear? Right now, pause and take a deep breath. Grab your phone or sit down with a pen and paper and pour your heart into a letter to Krishna. Email it to modernaimystic@gmail.com. You can also send audio files. You can choose to include your name or stay anonymous. We will collect every letter and send these vibrations into the universe together in our Letter to Krishna episode every Saturday. Now let me tell you a story about a cook who is more enlightened than a sage. In the Markandeya Puran, there is a forgotten tale most people have never heard. Narad Muni once asked Vishnuji, O Lord, who is your greatest devotee on earth right now? Narad Muni expected to hear the name of the greatest Rishi. But Vishnuji simply smiled and said, Go to the royal kitchen of King Ambarisha. You will find him there. Narad Muni, puzzled, traveled through the palace. There in the heat and smoke of the kitchen, he saw a humble man cooking. He wasn't meditating. He wasn't chanting. He wasn't even talking about God. He was just chopping vegetables, stirring pots, feeding people with love and quiet devotion. Narad Muni asked, How can this man be your greatest devotee? Vishnuji replied, Every action he performs, he offers to me. He sees this kitchen as his temple, these ingredients as sacred, and the people he feeds as my form. His entire life is a yajna, that is sacred offering. And in that moment, Narad Muni understood. It's not about what you do. It's the intention and the consciousness with which you do it. Now let me give you 3 steps which will help you reduce work stress and make your work more sacred. Step 1. Begin with bhakti, the sacred start ritual. Offer first, then act. Krishna says in Gita, Brahman is the offering, the oblation, the fire. He who sees all action as divine is truly wise. And what you should do? Before beginning your work each day, whether it is coding, writing, studying, teaching, pause for just 10 seconds. Close your eyes and silently say, Krishna, I offer this task to you. Let this be part of something higher. Now let me tell you the science behind this. Harvard studies on intention setting shows that it activates the brain's prefrontal cortex, boosting focus, reducing procrastination, and increasing task engagement. This act taps into the implementation intention effect, which increases the likelihood of follow through by 91%. And why it works spiritually? You shift from I have to do this to I get to serve through this. Stress becomes seva, work becomes worship. Step 2. The work as worship post. Anchor your devotion in your space. Krishna teaches in Gita, abandoning attachment to results, the wise apt with body, mind, and intellect purified by knowledge. And what should you do? Write this on a sticky note and places where you work. This is my yajna today. It's a visual devotional anchor that reminds your nervous system this isn't ordinary work. This is divine service. Now let me tell you the science behind this. In habit science, this is called environmental priming. James Clear of Atomic Habits shows that small cues in your environment can reshape identity and behavior. According to Dr. B.J. Fogg from Stanford, visual cues boost mindful microshifts, reinforcing motivation and reducing emotional fatigue. And why does it work spiritually? Because you're not working for a boss or for validation. You're offering each action to a higher purpose. That awareness keeps your heart steady. Step 3. The meaning tracker. Track meaning, not just metrics. Krishna says in Gita, when doubts are destroyed by wisdom and the mind is dedicated to selfless action, one is never bound by karma. What should we do? Every weekend, take 10 minutes to write these 3 things. What did I work on this week? Who did I serve beyond just me? What energy or intention did I bring to it? This is your purpose tracker. Let me tell you the science behind this. According to Yale research, reflecting on pro-social impact, that is how your work help others, drastically increases intrinsic motivation and prevents burnout. Journaling activates the default mode network, promoting deeper insight, emotional regulation, and clarity of purpose, just like our letter to Krishna. And why does it work spiritually? You start measuring success not by outcome, but by alignment with your nature, your purpose, and your devotion. Krishna isn't asking you to change your job. He's asking you to change your lens. From I work to survive to I work to serve. From burnout to bhakti, from deadlines to divine lines. What if your office is your battlefield? Your kitchen, your temple, your classroom, your yajna? Would you rise with devotion? What is one task you will offer today? Not as a burden, but as a sacred offering. Let your answer remind someone else that their work matters too. And remember, you don't have to be a sage in the Himalayas. You just have to be a devotee in the kitchen, the classroom, or the cubicle. Thank you for sharing this sacred space with me today. Your letter to Krishna is more than words. It's a frequency that ripples through your life and beyond. Send your letters to modernaimystic@gmail.com. Check the description below for the links. On Saturday, Letter to Krishna episode, we will read your letters aloud, your prayers, your hope, your stories, so they might resonate with every soul watching. We are on a mission to bring India's ancient knowledge to new generation in a practical way. If you wish to join us in this mission, please click that subscribe button and check links in the description. Until our next episode, act with devotion, offer with love, let go with faith. That is your path to peace. Hare Krishna and take care.